Chance, pwede niyo ako.
It is 4 p.m. We're bringing developing news.
And the stories behind the headlines. This is Storycon. I'm Regina Lay.
I'm Ed Lingao. Some stores for watching this Tuesday, the last day of the month, June 30. Malacanang says President Marcos sees no threat from the so-called emergency rallies organized by the Iglesia Ni Cristo today. Palace Press Officer Claire Caso says authorities were ordered to exercise maximum tolerance while ensuring that the law is enforced against anybody who violates it. Meantime, VP Sara Duterte said the gatherings reflected what she describes as growing public dissatisfaction with the government's performance. She also accused the administration of using the justice system to silence critics through the filing of cases and the imprisonment of political opponents. As we speak, protests are happening on EDSA and Liwasang Bonifacio in Manila.
Senator Rodante Marcoleta slammed the looming Thunder case against him. He called his impending arrest a planned political hit timed to block him from participating in the impeachment trial of Vice President Sara Duterte, which starts next week. He further accused the ombudsman of leaving corrupt individuals untouched, claiming that pending cases against House Speaker Martin Romualdez and former public works officials are apparently being swept under the rug. Marcoleta faces plunder charges after a TV interview prompted an investigation into millions in undeclared funds he received while serving as a sitting congressman.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. will push through with his official visit to Canada despite the ongoing Iglesia Ni Cristo rallies. Presidential Communications Officer or Office Secretary Dave Gomez confirms that there are no changes to the president's schedule. During his visit, Marcos is expected to advance negotiations for a free trade agreement between the Philippines and Canada. The trip to Vancouver from July 1 to July 4 will be the first visit by a Philippine head of state to Canada in the last 11 years.
The armed forces of the Philippines and the Philippine National Police are closely monitoring the INC rallies that are still ongoing in Manila and EDSA. The AFP said it respects the right to peaceful assembly but urged organizers to comply with the law and avoid disrupting public order and commuters. The PNP, for its part, placed all police units under full alert. The full alert status took effect 5 a.m. Tuesday and covers the NCRPO, Police Regional Offices 3 and 4A, National Support Units, and PNP offices at Camp Crame. In other news, an 85 peso daily wage hike will be implemented in Metro Manila. The first 60 peso increase will take effect July 19, followed by the remaining 25 pesos on January 20, 2027. Once fully implemented, the daily minimum wage will increase to 780 pesos for non-agricultural workers and 743 pesos for those in the agricultural, service, and retail sectors. Again, that's daily minimum wage.
And joining us today via Zoom, we have our resident political heckler.
Who is clearly in keeping with the Pride Month.
Okay.
In keeping with the theme.
Parang natatawa ka, Ed.
Ronald, anong paliwanag mo? Sige nga.
So,
Woke ako, woke.
last day of Pride Month, I
Talagang
guess.
you have to say woke. Ano ka ba? Hindi mo na sinabi
Pride
Pride
Month.
Month.
Pride Month. Kayo, masyado kayong kwan eh.
Sabi ko nga, Pride Month.
Kaya nga, why did you
Ayaw
have to
niyo
say...
maniwala ni Ed eh.
Why does you have to explain it as woke ako, woke?
Kasi baka hindi ka believe eh.
Okay.
Hindi nga siya believe. And from the Philippines, of course, we've got Editor-in-Chief Amy Pamintuan. Hi, Amy.
Hi everyone.
Oh, yan ang
Ano na lang kung kay Ronald, Rainbow Connection na lang yung kanya.
What is it with you two and your neon colors?
Kita mo.
Hindi may
Bakit
color
silang
skin din yung dalawa.
Kakulay ko yun. Yung isa lang.
Parang kaya naman kayo masyado kayong cup half empty eh. Dapat cup half full.
Ako yung half full. Si Ed yung...
So, is that why EDSA is full?
Oo nga.
So, is Edsa full or empty?
The cup runneth over? Ganun ba?
Hindi naman concerned yung presidente. Tuloy nga yung kanyang state visit, di ba?
Correct.
Interestingly, di ba? Tuloy siya bukas.
Correct.
Oo nga, ano ba yung state visit? For what ba yun?
First state visit niya sa Canada yan.
In more than a decade.
Isang possible,
Ano bang meron?
isang possibility
Bakit sa
dyan.
Vancouver?
Isang
Bakit
possibility.
sa Vancouver?
Vancouver yung pinaka-dominated ng Asians, di ba? Halos kalahati
Pinoy
ng
doon.
populasyon yan, Asians.
No, but also it's the commerce, the business capital, I guess.
Yeah.
But you know, so far at this point, it's 4:06 p.m. They said that the president is not changing his plans. It's a full state visit kasi.
Yes.
And ultimately, I guess it's up to him if he's going to push through or not. Although, of course, we are getting reports that this rally could last more than a day.
They're
How-
prepared for more than 2 days. For now. Can
What,
go longer.
what are you hearing, Ronald? What are you hearing from the ground?
Well, at least 2 days yan. At least.
Yeah, but intention-wise, what are you hearing?
Kinuha naman nila, di ba?
Sinabi
pinaliwanag
naman nila.
It is basically dun sa unjust na possible arrest ni Marcoleta. At ikalawa, what about Tisin? How about the others? Bakit yung hindi kinukuha, no?
Nasabay kasi dun sa announcement na mag-state witness si Bunoan eh.
No, but what I mean is if
Kaya
they're
medyo
looking at
masama yung ano.
if they're looking at 2
Masama
days,
yung
it's only
kombinasyon.
Tuesday. If they're looking at 2 days, it's only Tuesday. So, sabi natin they end on a Wednesday or Thursday, he could still be arrested on Friday. I
It
mean,
depends. It depends. Kung
Yeah.
lolobo yan, baka hindi yan matapos. Kung
that's
lolobo
what
yan.
I
no?
mean. So,
Ang target nila, several hundred thousands today eh. Tapos mas marami pa bukas. No? So, huwag niyo kalimutan, impeachment na sa
On
Monday. Simula na sa Monday. Tapos nagsasalita na yung mga stalwarts ng political
Yung
opposition.
mga pinagtatanggol.
Pupunta na dyan si Alan Peter, no? Pupunta na dyan sila Robin Hood Padilla, no? Magsisimula nang pumunta dyan yung other political forces. Kaya pwedeng maging very volatile. At pwede yung mag-extend beyond yung minimum 2 days na plano.
kasi kung matutuloy si BBM sa Canada tomorrow, and he'll be gone for, I mean,
Up until the Friday.
I mean, pati ang biyahe lang, ang haba ng biyahe yan eh. So, more or less,
Practically weekend na siya makakabalik.
Oo.
Practically.
So are they expecting a policy declaration within the week, and until that happens, they are not going to
What policy declaration?
kaya nga if the president is going to be so busy halfway across the world and he's going to be incommunicado for example the rest of the whole day tomorrow, what are they expecting to hear and what are they going
Who's
to
they?
report? These
Mukhang
guys.
confident sila na the government ay hindi threatened itong
Yeah, parang yun ang messaging.
Pero kapag ganyang nag-rally, Ronald, makakaurong pa ba sa pag-aresto kay Marcoleta? Kasi sinabi na kahapon eh.
Hindi na.
He will be arrested within the week. Kapag
Hindi na.
hindi mo tinuloy yung sinabi mo, the government is going to look weak, no?
They will become a lame duck for the next 2 years.
Yeah.
Na
Kapag hindi mo tinuloy yan, sasabihin mag-rally lang.
yes.
Talo na kayo.
Exactly.
Yan.
Kaya inaasahan dito, sino ba ang magbi-blink? Sino ba ang kukurap?
The government cannot afford to blink.
Yes. Yes.
So,
Di ba?
Lalo na going into the SONA. No? We are now
And going into the impeachment.
We are now in the SONA month. We are in the impeachment month. So maraming ang nakataya ngayon July. Diba? Kaya cannot afford to appear weak.
Yeah.
Dahil nga, kung aatras sila, tapos na yung impeachment before it has even started.
Hindi ka makaka-atras dyan eh.
Yes.
of course,
They cannot afford to
At
withdraw.
yung ika-cancel nila yung trip to Canada, isang indication yan that they blink.
is it really sending the message that they blink, or that, of course, domestic affairs have to take precedence over foreign
Yeah, yung
affairs,
sa trip
diba?
pwede, okay
That's-
lang yun. Pwedeng imasahe yun eh.
Oh, that's
Pero yung
one-
pag-aresto, hindi pwede yun eh. Yun yung main cause niyang rally na yan.
In
yung
fact-
pag-aresto kay Marcoleta.
Oh, in fact,
The
if he,
message is business as usual.
no, but in
We-
fact, if
Yeah.
he pushes
We are
through,
not ruffled by this.
if he pushes
Yeah.
through, they might also say na, oh, nagkakagulo yung bansa, umalis ka pa rin. As is always
Yeah,
the case pag
hindi
may
rin maganda yung
disasters.
aalis siya.
Ang message sa kanila, hindi nagkakagulo yung bansa. Ang message nila, this is just one of those rallies. Parang hindi sila affected. No?
Is that the right way to massage this messaging? By the way, these pictures we're showing are live drone footages.
You
Footage.
can see the opposite lane, talagang walang katao-tao kasi walang makadaan.
It's blocked.
Yung the other lane naman, punong-puno, parang parking lot. So,
Ng mga UC.
umiwas po kayo sa EDSA, lalo sa bahaging yan.
Nung panahon ni Pinoy, nangyari rin yan eh. No? Sa show EDSA,
Yeah,
kung
I remember
maalala
that.
mo.
Also with Iglesia.
Anong issue na nga yun? Di ko na matandaan yun. Anong issue yun?
Well, yung local power struggle within the Iglesia ni Cristo, kung maalala nyo,
May
Ah?
away.
parang nakikialam daw yung Aquino government, etc.
Ah.
And other issues. No? Pero eventually, nung third day, sinabihan sila to disperse or else. No? So on the third day, nag-disperse sila. Second day,
Yeah.
nung, evening, almost midnight, pinaabot sa kanila yung message. So, hindi kasi pwede, gobyerno ka eh. Hindi ka pwedeng magmukhang kayang pressure
Yeah, you cannot afford.
kahit anong religious sect or political group.
Ah.
So, you cannot blink. You
Pero-
have to show strength.
Pero Ronald, let me play the devil's advocate here. What if they also argue na, teka, yung EDSA, nung EDSA 1 and EDSA 2, you're looking at numbers that are not far from each other. If you see the
Kaya nga,
drone set
dapat,
ngayon,
dapat may gawin ng gobyerno. Hindi pwedeng tumagal yan.
Ah.
No, kasama sa plano, diyan, ay may gagawin yung gobyerno. Hindi pwedeng pabayaan na block ang EDSA, lalo na 2 lanes, for more than 2 days. No? So eventually, they have to do something.
They are starting to round up some of the protesters.
Yeah. Kasi
Nagkami,
medyo nagiging violente raw yung iba.
alam ko may 2 lang hinuli na leader
Apat na.
Dapat na.
dahil nagkaroon ng scaffold.
Correct.
Ah.
So they're
Apat
starting
na.
to round up. And of course, at this point, we know this rally was a surprise rally.
Yeah, no permit
walang
daw.
permit.
Actually, it wasn't a surprise. Dahil nagsabi na kasi si Boying several weeks ago and also last week na kakasuhan na si Marcoleta. So they've been preparing for that. Yung ganyang kalaking rally, providing food, logistics,
Oo, may mga bus pa eh. Daming buses eh.
mahabang preparasyon yun.
No,
Hindi
but
yan-
Mahanda sila.
I mean, for all in...
Hindi yan lightning rally.
Hindi,
no?
pero for the most part, for the ordinary citizens, this is a surprise rally. Obviously, they were unprepared for the traffic
Yes.
problem, the traffic disturbance, right? And nakita naman natin, although this is not confirmed yet, there are screenshots going around of the call to mobilize, and even in that screenshot, mukhang surprise rally ang tawag din nila dito. So, based...
Parang yung surprise, parang gano'n.
Oh, of
Para
course,
sabihin hindi pinagplanuhan. Pero tama si Ronald, it's not the kind of rally na pwedeng naisipan lang nila nung kaninang madaling araw
Yeah.
at bigla-bigla, ayan ka na. Ang dami-dami mo ng buses, ang dami-dami mo ng... Siyempre, paghahanda mo yan, pakakainin mo, maghahanda ka at least ng pagkain at tubig dyan if you're going to stay there for at least 1 day.
Lalo na umuulan.
but
Oh,
Ronald,
umuulan pa kanina, ang lakas ng ulan kanina.
Ronald, what will resolve this issue?
Ha?
May pinakulong na na kakampi ng administrasyon.
Is that what will resolve this issue?
Dalawa kasi
Selective prosecution ang nirereklamo nila eh.
dalawa yung narrative nila eh. Una ay kaya ikukulong si Marcoleta dahil sa ginawa niya sa Blue Ribbon before.
Dahil siya daw nagsiwalat ng ano.
Just and unfair yung arrest niya. Yung ikalawang message nila, bakit yung iba?
Yeah, yun. Yun, napaka-importante
So,
nun eh.
So kung gagawin mo yan pareho, hindi mo pwedeng kulong lang si Marcoleta at saka si Mike Defensor. Dapat
Kailangan magkulong ka ng isang kakampi.
diba? So, tingin ko yung gobyerno is willing to do that or preparing to
Yeah.
do that.
But they will have to move
That-
fast, not unless you want that crowd to stay there for the entire week and well into the start of the impeachment trial.
Yes.
Dapat
Kaya
gawin na
sabi
lang
ko-
nila kaysa nag-a-announce.
Kaya nga sabi ko, Ed, something has to give eh. Ibig sabihin, pag tumagal yan ng more than 2 days, i-disperse yan.
It is
Well, that's
first.
what.
Yes.
In any case, there's no permit, as we keep saying, sabi ng MMDA. And I agree with Ami. May tanong din, bakit ina-announce pa? Right?
Oh. If you're going to file, just file the
Which-
case.
which
If you're going to
we-
order an arrest.
Parang bato ba yan? Noong November,
Dapat hindi na-arrest to eh.
in-announce eh.
And even now,
April nangyari.
even now, yung resolution has not even been signed yet, di ba? Si Assistant Ombudsman Miko Clavano just finished a press conference saying the resolution has not been signed, it's not been filed. They're asking kailan ma-issue yung arrest warrant. Of course, only a court can issue an arrest warrant.
The court.
But in any case, at this point, let's bring in our first guest. We're talking to Senator Panfilo Ping Lacson. Welcome back to Storycon, sir.
Yeah, Regina, Ronald, and
Hi, Senator.
Ed,
Magandang hapon po.
Ami, magandang hapon sa ating lahat.
Diba, Senator, yung background ko?
Wala naman. Nasa phone lang siya,
Hindi
Ronald.
nakikita yung background
Hindi
mo,
nakikita yung
Ronald.
background mo.
Talaga, oh.
Oo nga, nasa phone siya.
Gay pride, Senator.
So, there's no other place to start, Senator Lacson, other than the rally that's going on right now, yung INC organized this rally in support of Senator Marcoleta, who said that his plunder case is meant to stop him from exposing corruption tsaka participating in the impeachment trial. I know you've responded to this. You called it gaslighting. Why?
Yeah, kasi sinama na naman niya ako eh. Ang sinasabi niya, planado raw yung pag-aresto sa kanya dahil sinabi ko raw noon sa interview na siyam daw na senador ang makukulong. Ang sagot ko nga doon, nag-gaslighting na naman siya dahil iniiba niya yung issue, naninisi ng ibang tao. Kung titingnan natin yung background ng kanyang kaso, sa kanya lahat galing ang ebidensya. Sabi nga ni Ombudsman Boying, di ba? Kaya nga nakakatuwa kasi ang defense ng iglesia, ng INC, kay Senator Marcoleta, selective justice. Parang ang daming connotations eh. Para sanga-sanga eh. Tapos transparency, accountability. Yun nga ginawa ni Senator Marcoleta eh. Very transparent siya. Sinabi niya tumanggap siya ng 75 million at yun ay ang deklarasyon niya, hindi pa naman campaign period. At sabi niya, congressman siya noon. Kaya nga siya sa sariling bibig kasi nanggaling lahat yung ebidensya, kaya siya napailan. Tama sinabi ni Ombudsman Boying, di ba? Na hindi naman kami naghanap nito eh. Ito ay parang bumagsak sa aming lap dahil motu proprio, nandyan yung violation at hindi na, parang nabanggit ko rin sa privilege speech ko to eh. Kaya lang hindi ko na isama yung plunder. Sinabi ko lang noon, indirect bribery. Kasi in relation to your office, kapag tumanggap ka ng regalo, ng pera, maliwanag na violation sa batas yun. Now, plunder, hindi ko rin na-realize to na ang plunder pala, hindi limitado sa public funds. Dahil pagka ill-gotten wealth ang pinag-uusapan at a series of acts, plunder talaga ang bagsak mo.
But in the first place, saan po galing yung 9, the number 9, Senator, that you mentioned before? Because, of course, the other side is saying na mukhang may conspiracy talaga to target all of these Duterte allied senators.
No, hypothetical yun eh. Kasi pinag-uusapan nun yung base number. Kasi nasa Constitution, 2/3 vote of all members of the Senate. 24 kami. So nagbigay ako ng hypothetical scenario na kung halimbawang siyam yung makulong, di 15 na A1. Di parang formality na lang yung acquittal. It was all hypothetical. So, dinugtong niya doon sa kanyang sitwasyon ngayon na inanticipate ko na raw na makukulong siya along with 8 others. So, maling-mali yung kanyang premise.
Sir, I'm sure you've seen the images coming from EDSA at by all accounts, mukhang gusto pa nilang palakihin yung numero ng mga tao doon sa EDSA. At yung Pangulo, mukhang tutuloy pa rin sa Canada bukas. So, let me ask you, as somebody very involved with the security sector is there reason to be concerned with developments now and with what could happen in the next few days?
Well, tama si Ami, tama si Ronald, hindi makaka-afford ang gobyerno na mag-blink. Ano? Kasi pag nag-blink, tapos na. Ibig sabihin, halimbawa, hindi tinuloy yung pagpapile within the week. Ayun ang unang sign o malaking sign na nag-blink ang gobyerno. At kung hindi tutuloy ang Pangulong Marcos, sinaamin nila na may threat sa security ng bansa.
Mhm.
So, ang usapan dito, Ed, hindi naman ito national issue eh. Issue to ng isang senador na naharap sa kasong plunder at saka indirect bribery sa ombudsman. At napipintong maipal yung kaso sa Sandigan Bayan, kaya nakaabang yung warrant of arrest. Yun lang naman ang issue rito eh. Sinuluan lang nila ng INC ng transparency, accountability. Sabi ko nga marami connotation eh. What a paradox, Dahil accountability, transparency. Pero yung pinoprotektahan nila, dinidepensahan nila, accountable sa isang kasong sabihin nating pasok sa issue ng graft and corruption. Kasi ang pagkakamali niya kasi dito, Ed, dahil nilabas yung, kasi ang alam ko rito, tingin ko, nilabas siya sa campaign period yung date ng contribution eh. Campaign contribution.
Yeah.
Ang nakita ko doon sa record, parang January 8, January 10, January 14.
February po yung campaign period.
February 12 yung lampas ng campaign period para mailusot doon sa campaign contribution. Dahil nga hindi nakadeklara sa SOSE. Ang hindi alam ni Senator Marcoleta, mas mabigat yung nabagsakan niya kasi kung sa Omnibus Election Code lang ang violation, parang kurot lang yun eh.
Administrative.
Well, pwede ka ma-perpetual disqualification. Pero mostly, or if at all, administrative eh. So lumihis siya doon at kaya maliwanag na afterthought ito kasi nagbayad ng donor's tax bandang November kasi pumutok yung issue na ito, November eh.
Mhm. Yeah.
So nagremedyo sila, namili sila ng petsa na nalabas sa campaign period. Kaya afterthought, dahil nagbayad sila ng donor's tax dito, mga December. December, dahil November pumutok. So nagbayad pa nga ng surcharge eh. Kasi may penalty pagka after 30 days. Pag lumampas ka ng 30 days sa pagbabayad ng donor, yun pagkaalam ko meron siya mga penalty sa donor's tax. So bakit December? Kasi November pumutok. Bakit January? Para labas doon sa violation ng Omnibus Election Code na hindi niya inaral na makakasuhan siya ng plunder.
Senator, ang reklamo ng kampo nila Senator Marcoleta.
Yes, sir.
Selective prosecution daw. Kasi yan yung isang malaking issue dyan sa rally na yan. Ano po yung masasabi niyo ron?
Paano magiging selective? Siya yung nag-select. Sa kanya lahat galing eh. Hindi naman kikilo sa ombudsman kundi siya umamin sa kanyang TV program eh. Dahil sinabi niya, congressman ako noon. Utang na loob, ibibigay namin sa ito, wag mo na kaming i-mention. Dahil tulong namin, utang na loob mo sa amin yan. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Para sinisigil na agad siya na may utang na loob ka sa amin, ito yung contribution sa iyo. Actually, ito, palagi ko, alam din ni Ronald ito, hindi lang 75 million na natanggap niya eh. Malaki.
Magkano, sir?
Yeah.
Bakit daw yung mga kaalyado ni President Marcos, mga kamag-anak, hindi pa pinapailan ng kaso, bakit daw inuuna sila? Yun yung mga sinasabi ng mga tao dyan.
Na selective. Well, pwede may katotohanan. Kasi kung mapapansin ninyo, tama yun, dahil sa dinami-dami ng nabanggit, bakit yung nasa, lalo sa Senado,
kabila.
Yan ang sa kabila eh. Kaya pwede may basihan yon, pero hindi ko alam yung takbo na ebidensya. Ang masasabi ko lamang, itong latest naman kay Secretary Bonoan, kasi natatandaan ko nung nag-testify si Bernardo, binanggit niya doon na from 2023, 2024, 2025, laging merong naka-allocables na nakatoka kay Bonoan na 5 billion a year. Meron siyang testimonya sa amin yan nun eh. So kung 5 billion a year at ang sinasabi doon 25% o 15% ng 5 billion a year for 3 years. So that's 15 billion. Pag kinenta natin yung 15%, ito yung commission ni Secretary Bonoan ayon kay Bernardo. Under oath ito, testimonya ito.
Yeah.
So easily that's 2.25 billion pesos in commission. Doon sa 15% ni Bonoan, ang sinabi rin ni Bernardo, binibigyan siya ng 25%. At yung naiwan, so pag inalis mo yung 25% ng 2.25 billion, ang maiiwanan kay Bonoan, nasa mga 1.687 billion over a period of 3 years. Yun maliwanag, nasa testimonya yon. So sabi, kapati pa raw doon si the late Cathy Cabral. So sabi na natin namigay si Bonoan ng yung butal, 687 million. Maliwanag, may naiwan sa kanyang 1 billion at the very least. So
hindi kayo payag na
nabanggit ko
na
ito.
ginagawa siya ngayon na state witness.
Well, diskarte ng ombudsman yon at kung papayagan remember, motion pa lang ito. Hindi ito subject
Yes.
pa rin sa approval ng korte kasi hindi naman siya nagsimula bilang state witness. Nagsisimula siya, ina-apply pa lang siya na ma-discharge. Motion ito to discharge as a state witness. So subject ito sa approval ng Sandigan Bayan. Now, on the part of prostitution, kaya nasabi ko ito, dapat hindi bababa ng 1 billion pesos ang restitution ni Secretary Bonoan. Dahil unfair naman doon sa mga iba na napasaloob na sa Witness Protection Program ng DOJ at meron na silang kontratang napirmahan na kung ilan yung kanila isosole. Pero ito, hindi natin alam kung ano yung side agreement na binabanggit ng Ombudsman kay Secretary Bonoan.
Sir, in relation to sa binabanggit nyo, ano na ba status nung dati yung privilege speech na 500 million na allegedly binigay na projects ni Bonoan kay Senator Marcoleta in exchange sa kanyang confirmation as a cabinet secretary? Ano na bang status na?
As we expect, hinihimay namin yung mga proyekto. May mga na-identify namin mga projects at inaaral namin kung alin doon ang merong diferensya. Dahil yun ay 500 million na noong November 2022, noong confirmation ni Secretary Bonoan, ito yung dinil. Kasi si Secretary Senator Marcoleta ang chairman ng Committee on Public Works na nangangasiwa sa confirmation ni Secretary Bonoan. At nakita naman namin sa dokumento na nanggaling doon sa files ni dating Undersecretary Cabral na meron talaga allocables na 500 million. At natatandaan ko nung meron kaming committee hearing sa CA, I think mga armed forces officers to. Noon pa ito, lumapit sa akin yung mga, kasi nilabas ko ito lumapit sa akin yung mga congressmen na it so happen na noon pa lang 2022, nandyan na rin pala sila sa CA. And they were egging me. Sabi niya, Senator, tama yan. Ituloy mo lang yung expose mo kasi totoo yan. Parang nire-refer nila na bukulan talaga kami. Kasi ginamit sila na kaya actually 1.5 billion nga yan ang hinihingi pero 500 million lang na ibigay. Kaya yung transparency, accountability, yung selective justice, alam mo, sabi ko nga paradox para bang in a matter of speaking, para bang sinasabi nating if it's true, then it is false. If it's false, then it is true. Parang gano'n ang usapan Para bang, ano ba nilalabanan natin? Parang higit, lubay. Parang hindi maintindihan kung ano ba yung direksyon. Kasi pinaglalaban mo, transparency, accountability. Pero ang pinaglalaban mo naman, sangkot naman doon sa accountability.
Senator, balikan ko na yung sinabi nyo kanina na hindi lang 75 million yung natanggap ni Senator Marcoleta. Can you elaborate? Ba't nyo po nasabi yun?
May information na ganyan, dinedevelop namin. Sabi ko nga, bulungan nyo si Ronald, alam niya yan. Sa kanya nang galing yung initial information na yan, sa kanya nang galing, dinevelop ko lang.
So, na-develop
Do we
nyo na?
trust that information?
So sir, na-develop nyo na po?
Work in progress. May mga na-identify na kami.
Work in progress.
Remember, I'm still a member of the Blue Ribbon.
Yes, sir.
Nare-request
Yes, sir.
ko yan noong nag-reorganization. Sabi ko, ayoko na. Sabi ko, pagod na ako and I keep losing old friends and creating new enemies. Ganyan, deja po ito sa akin kasi noong nilabanan ko yung pork barrel, nag-privilege speech ako ng yung Living Without Pork. Nawala na ako ng mga kaibigan noon sa Senado, maski sa Kongreso. So eto na naman ako, Blue Ribbon Committee Chairman, ganun na naman ang nangyayari. Merong mga hindi ko makausap sa akin. Alam mo, nakakapagod din yan eh.
Yeah.
Sabihin na nating, alam mo, tao rin lang naman tayo. Matigas yung dibdib ko, Ronald, Ed. Pero alam mo, lagi may human element sa bawat tao, di ba? Every human being, merong human element na parang, ano ba itong ginagawa ko? Parang gano'n, tinatanong mo sa sarili mo. So, nung nag-reorganize at saka nag-reorganize ulit nang mabalik sa amin yung mayorya, sabi ko, ayoko na kung pwedeng ipasa na natin sa iba yung chairmanship. I'm willing to be a member. I'm willing to be a vice chairman. Kaya vice chairman ako ngayon. So, nandiyan pa rin yung aking papel na magtrabaho but more behind the scene than nasa forefront.
Yes, sir. But are you free to disclose at least some of the details of your investigation so far? Your investigation?
Not yet. Not yet. Baka magalit sa akin si Ronald.
Senator,
Basta ako, Sen. Solid ako sa likod nyo, ha. Kaibigan ako, ha. Hindi ako gumagewang, ha.
Hindi.
Baka sabihin.
This particular issue Ronald, this particular issue, nasa harapan ka rito. Ako na tumusunod sa'yo.
nako, ano ba yan? Senator Ping, let me go back to Sec Manny Bonoan. Pasensya na po, we're jumping around all the issues. But this afternoon, before we went to air, Assistant Ombudsman Miko Clavano gave a press conference explaining why they decided he can be state witness. He said it was a very difficult decision, but one of the factors was that there were no allegations that Secretary Bonoan received the money. He was part of the conspiracy, though, in that there was a list, and it was Secretary Bonoan who decided who got what commission, what kickbacks. But he himself may not have. There was no allegations, though, that he received money. And the second factor was his health. Balikan ko yung tanong ni Ami. So I gather from what you're saying, you don't agree with making him state witness.
I don't. Hindi accurate yun. Kung binasa nila lahat yung pinadala kong dokumento, remember when I delivered via a privilege speech yung aking partial committee report, pinadala ko lahat sa ombudsman yun eh. Lahat ng transcript, yung TSNs, yung stenographic notes, tapos documents, testimonies, nandun lahat sa kanila yun. Kung babasahan nila yun, hihimay nila yun, nandun sa statement ni Bernardo, yung 5 billion a year, 2023, 2024, 2025. So kinumpit ko nga kanina, I did some math, bago tayo mag-interview, 15 billion, 15% of 15 billion, easily, that's 2.25 billion. So deduct 25% ng 15% na sinabi ni Bernardo na yun ang binigay sa kanya. So may iwanan pa rin 1 billion 687 million. So kapag para doon si Jose Cabral, sabi ni Bernardo, sa statement ito, kinukot ko lang siya, hindi sa akin galing. So sabi mo na may naiwan sa kanyang 1.2 o 1 billion. So hindi totoo na wala natanggap si Bonoan. Maliwanag yon. Even doon sa letter ni nung naglabas si Saldico ng kanyang video, yung Facebook niya, na kinontra ni Bernardo. Sinabi niya sa akin, tumawag siya sa akin, baka pwede mag-usap kami kasi mali yung sinasabi ni Saldico na naghatid siya ng 100 billion kay Presidente Bongbong. At sabi niya, hindi pwede mangyari kasi nung pinakita ni Saldico yung listahan, kinumpare niya sa kanyang digital file. Sabi niya, 52 billion dito sa 100 billion, ako nag-handle. Doon sa 52 billion na yon, na hinandle niya, nakapaghatid pa siya kay Bonoan, sabi niya, ng 1 billion. So, that's already 2 billion kung kukwentahin natin based on testimonies. So, hindi accurate yung sinabi ni Assistant Ombudsman Miko na walang natanggap si Bonoan.
At least
Yun
for
ang
that,
hindi pwede mangyari.
at least for that case that they're looking at right now. So by your calculations, 1.687 billion pesos yung natanggap niya na kickbacks or commission.
Yeah, based on testimonies ito. Based on the testimonies of
Roberto Bernardo.
Bernardo.
And of course, in this case, mahirap kasi you don't have a smoking gun. You're going to rely heavily on witness testimonies. And what the ombudsman said this afternoon
No,
is...
Regina, let me correct you. Yung mga sinasabi ng Bernardo, nasa files niya yan. Supported ng dokumento yan. Not really the commission kasi ewan ko kung meron siyang notes. No, kung magkano, I suppose meron siya kasi yan ang impart niya sa akin ng mga unang pag-uusap namin. Na kumpleto siya. Kaya nga nang pinakita ni Sandy ko yung 100 billion, agad-agad kinorek niya. Ginawagan niya ako. Nasa files niya raw yung 52 billion na hinandal niya. Nag-deliver siya ng 8 billion, tapos 1 billion kay Secretary Bonoan.
So meron siyang documentary
Senator.
evidence. Oo.
I suppose so. Kung papakawalan lang talaga, and he's testifying right now. Hindi ko alam kung ano na yung stage ng kanyang testimonya, kung umabot na siya doon sa pag-testify against Secretary Bonoan.
If the plan is to make him a state witness in order to build a case against former Speaker Martin Romualdez, is that a more acceptable solution to you, Senator? Kasi sinabi na rin
Yes.
ng ombudsman na they are already building a case against the former Speaker.
Yes, that is justifiable. Kasi kung maging state witness ka, huwag ka magtuturo pa baba. Ang turo mo dapat pataas. Ang turo mo dapat mas malaki, hindi mas maliit. Kasi kung ituturo niya, si late Jose Cabral, dahil pinartihan niya, kung ituturo niya, si dating Jose Bernardo, kasi pinartihan niya ng 25% o 15%, parang hindi naman yata tama yun. Kung magtuturo siya ng paakyat at palaki, well, I think that's justified.
Okay.
Yeah. Tsaka more guilty siya pag siya yung tuturo pababa.
Senator, may isa pang tanong kasi kapag mag-state witness ka, presumably you are not the most guilty. Ang tanungan lang namin, sino kaya pwedeng most guilty dito sa kaso to? Kasi dami-dami nang kinukuhang mga state witness At saka mukhang kanya-kanyang kurakot kung if we are going to follow the accusations. Mukhang kanya-kanya Sino ba yung most guilty? Sino ba mastermind? Meron na ba kayong na-form na nasagot sa ganyang mga tanong?
Yes. Napakaganda ng tanong mo, Ami. Kasi isa yan sa qualification ng pagiging state witness, not the most guilty. No? Dati nga yan, ang alam ko, sinusunod, the least guilty Pero hindi na nasunod yun, naging not the most guilty. Pero tama ka. Yun, eksakto yung tanong mo. Sino ngayon ang most guilty?
Oo nga. Sino nga?
Kailan makapagturo si Secretary Bonoan ng more guilty than he is?
Ibig sabihin, mas mataas.
Oh, mas guilty. Kung hindi, siya yung most guilty. Siya yung Secretary ng Public Works Ngayon, kung magtuturo siya ng mas guilty pa kaysa sa kanya, mag-justify yung pagiging state witness niya. Remember, this is recommendatory
Yeah.
Motion yan na ang subject yan sa approval ng korte kung i-discharge pa siya as a state witness. Kasi sa ngayon, akusado siya. Unlike sina Bernardo, sina Alcantara, pumasok na sila as witness Hindi naman sila na-charge Of course, yun sa stipulation naman nila, sa kasunduan nila, hindi kasama doon sa pagiging witness nila, state witness nila, yung kasong hindi sila magte-testify para tumulong, iba yun.
Oo. Kaya nga, sino kaya ang mastermind? Kung sakasakali lang, krimen to May maituturo ba tayo actually na mastermind o plural? Masterminds.
Your guess is as good as mine. Wag lang nila tayo tuturo. Wag lang tayo tuturong 4, Ami.
But sir, 5 tayo
5 tayo, so may isang Excuse me.
Suspect
yung may rainbow sa likod.
Suspect.
Ako kasama.
Yung may rainbow sa likod. Yung the partial report that you submitted, Senator Ping, of course partial because you never got enough signatures to put it to the floor. Do you have any idea if nagamit po yun ng ombudsman or ng DOJ?
I think ginagamit nila. Kasi pinadala ko sa kanila yun May usapan kami ni Ombudsman na ipapadalo ko sa kanya lahat ng buong files. Marami nga yun Isang tutak na dokumento yun Pinadala namin sa kanila. Kasi effectively, yun na rin ang laman talaga ng committee report. Kulang na lang mga siguro mga isa, dalawang hearing na lang talaga yung naiiwan eh. Ngayon, ang naging usapin dyan, yung 80 na Marine, na ex-Marines o ex-bodyguards na sinasabi eh. Hindi ko tinawag yon. Again, ipapaliwanag ko ulit ito kasi ito yung binabato sa akin na may pinagtatakpan ako. Wala akong pinagtatakpan doon sa hindi pagtawag, doon sa 18. Kasi nagkwenta nga ako, di ba sa 805 billion, na privilege speech ko rin ito eh. Yung logistical nightmare, saka yung physical impossibility to move 805 billion, considering na ang money in circulation at that time, chinek namin sa BSP, nasa mga 2.7 trillion eh. So ibig sabihin, 805 billion of 2.7 trillion na kay Saldico. Wala pa siya doon ha. Pamigay lang ito. Ibig sabihin, meron pa rin kay Saldico. Alam nga namang wala siya maski 250 or 200 billion doon. Papayag ba naman siya na 805 billion pamimigay tapos wala siya? Basta naman siya makapagkawang gawa. So, paano ng 1 trillion yung perang cash na nasa kanila, money circulation 2.7, kasama yung coins, kasama yung nasa mga vaults ng mga bangko, kasama lahat yun, money circulation eh. So, sabi natin, at the very least, improbable. Tapos kinwenta ko nga yung pag-unload, diniliver sa kanila. In-unload, binilang, nirepack, niload, diniliver. Ang kwenta ko nga na lumabas, 5 years eh. So hanggang ngayon, nagdi-deliver. So ba't mo naman papatulan yung ganong klaseng salaysay?
Pero sir, at any rate, in the last Blue Ribbon Committee hearing, I think it was under Erwin Tulfo already, the 18 were invited anyway, but they refused to show up. Instead, they went up to Senator Robin Padilla's office to hold a press conference.
Doon mo makita yung agenda, iba eh. Yun, may suspecha kami, destabilization yon. Kasi anong ginagawa nila sa Senate, wala naman silang planong umatendo sa legitimate na Blue Ribbon hearing. But nagkumpul-kumpul sila. Ang information doon, although raw at saka unverified, mukhang gagamitin yung 18 pangtawag sa armed forces. Para ang casus belli, yung inape, yung 18 nakapabaro dati nung sa armed forces. Kaya lang, hindi lilipad kasi nga, wala na, dininay na sila, dinisown na sila ng Philippine Marines at saka ng buong armed forces. So, hindi lilipad yon. But again, hindi natin maalis na ina-attempt nila yun eh. Kasi ang nakapagtaka, bakit? Kaya nga nag-lockdown sa Senate noon eh. Because of the intelligence information. And we met with the intelligence officers ng PNP saka ng armed forces. Pinapabalidate namin sa kanila yon. Yung report na pwedeng gawing parang trigger. Trigger yung presence ng Marines na halimbawa, nag-attend pagkatapos kinontempt. Baka pwedeng yun na mag-spark ng something, it could be bloody kasi nasa loob sila ng Senate. May information pa nga meron na ipasok ng mga armas nun eh.
Was that ever confirmed?
Blue
What can we
Ribbon sila
expect
sa
next?
EDSA ngayon,
Senator?
with the 18
Yes.
Alleged Marines.
Ano yun? Say again?
Baka mag-Blue Ribbon sila sa EDSA with the 18 alleged Marines.
Well, nag-Blue Ribbon na nga sila sa, di ba? Sa labas. Na kinancel naman noong events place kasi nga unauthorized. Kaya ang tumawag na nga ng Blue Ribbon hearing, si Mike Defensor na eh. Hindi na nga yung senador eh. So definitely, merong agenda rito na sabi ko nga, subject to validation. Kaya pinapabalidate namin, ano ba talaga ang plano? Itong sa INC ngayon na nangyari sa EDSA, I don't think may kinalaman ito sa usapin sa Blue Ribbon. Ito talagang nag-ano sila rito in defense of Senator Marcoleta para mapigil yung pag-aresto sa kanya. And balik ulit sa unang usapan nyo kanina, nanonood ako, na hindi makaka-afford mag-blink ang government. Tama si Ami, tama si Ronald.
What can we expect
Wala
from the
naman
Blue
niniwala.
Ribbon, Senator? Kayo yung Vice Chairman ngayon. Kasi ang sinasabi naman yung mga nag-rally naman ng weekend, yung White Ribbon March, ituloy daw yung investigasyon sa flood control. Kahit sino daw ang tamaan. Ano po ang maaasahan natin from the Blue Ribbon in the coming weeks?
Yeah. Yeah, tuloy naman yun eh. Nag-usap-usap na rin kami kaming mayorya. Itutuloy naman talaga ni Senator Erwin yon, yung pagdinig doon. So, at willing nga siya tawagin yung 18 eh. At kung sino pa yung dadagdag eh. Kasi mag-ano rin yun eh. Alam mo, matagal na akong investigador, mag-self-destruct din yun eh. Pag naharap yun sa marami nagtatanong, magkakabuhol-buhol yun eh.
Parang nawala.
Sir, are you still there?
Parang
Until
nawala
here.
siya.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm here.
Sir, dun sa punto nyo na government cannot afford to blink, okay, we get that and it has to resolve the issue within the next couple of days. Eh. Pero how do you see this being resolved? What do you foresee or what are the best options here on the table for this to be resolved? I'm talking about, of course, EDSA.
Well, let's put it this way. Let's just hope na hindi mauwi ito sa isang madugo na
Gulo.
pangyayari. Sana mauwi ito sa mahinahon, whatever the conclusion is, maging mahinahan sana. Sana hindi mauwi sa gulo kasi sa tingin ko lang hindi sapat yung hindi justified yung pinaglalaban dito sa nangyayaring massing of people in EDSA. Kasi pinaglalaban lang dito si Senator Marcoleta eh. Obvious naman eh. Sa kanila na rin salita, di ba? Ang sentro ng kanilang issue ngayon, si Senator Marcoleta. Nagkataon lang na miyembro ng INC Senator Marcoleta. Siguro kung hindi, wala namang ganyan eh.
Yes, sir. But, sir, let me put it this way. Are you hearing anything to the effect that, for example, feelers being sent out to military officers to join or to maybe withdraw support or to express support for Senator Marcoleta? Are you hearing anything of that sort?
Wala, Ed. Wala akong narinig na ganyan sa ngayon.
Okay.
Okay. Senator Ping, I'm gonna pivot to a slightly related topic, which is, of course, impeachment. Mag-uumpisa na on Monday. I've read the pre-trial order. So si Senate President Sherwin Gatchalian will be presiding officer. I wonder if you could talk us through that decision process. Paano po naging siya in the end? Because, of course, in the lead up to yesterday, si Senator Cheese Escudero, yung the name that was being fronted.
Hindi pa formal. Kasi kaya kami nag-amin ng rules. Remember, nag-amin kami ng rules na mag-e-elect kami ng presiding officer. Na-publish yun eh. May publication yun. So, andyan yan. Nasa rules namin yan. So, wala pa kaming formal na pag-uusap na pagkakasunduan na kung sino talagang presiding officer.
Okay.
So, of course, may first crack dyan talaga si Senator Sherwin. But initially, before na lumutang na siya yung magpe-preside, may usapan talaga kami na either si Senator Kiko o si Senator Cheese ang napipisil namin na magpe-preside para smooth ang kasi abogado yung nasa itaas, siya yung parang pinakabastonero. Kasi alam mo, hindi magandang pangitain yung kada na lang motion hindi agad magro-rule ng overruled or denied yung presiding officer. Kung hindi naman abogado, limitado yung knowledge sa rules of court, sa procedure, di ba? So, hindi maganda pangitain na each time ibabato niya doon sa amin, sa body. Kasi unless mag-overrule siya o kaya mag-sustain siya, pero meron mag-object from among the senator judges, magdidiskusyon kami doon. Pero mas maganda yung panahon ni Senator JP noon, Senate President, na talaga may mando siya. Kasi alam niya talaga yung ginagawa niya. Alam niya, for that matter. Pero may magkakataon din na hindi siya nag-rule, dinadaan namin sa caucus. At sinasabi ko lamang na talaga yung abogado nagpe-preside. Kasi marami pagkakataon na may motion, agad-agad dapat overrule, sustain, dapat ganun kagad eh. Hindi yung kadan lang, malaking abala yung kung lahat na lang ng motion hindi mag-rule yung presiding officer. Yun lang ang punto ko.
So even though si SP Gatchalian ang nakaspirma doon sa pre-trial order, it's not formal yet that he's the presiding officer?
Hindi pa kami nakapag-formally nagkasundo-sundo dyan.
It
kung sino
will,
yung presiding officer.
it will come down to a vote, no, Senator Lacson?
Yes, we will
And-
elect eh. Nandiyan sa rules, amended rules namin yan eh.
But
We will elect the presiding officer.
we heard there are it's not you're not unanimous on this to elect
Hindi unanimous. Even between Senator Kiko and Senator Escudero, hindi kami unanimous pa eh. At least yung majority we're not counting yet the minority. Of course, they will count pagka all senators, meron kaming all senators caucus on Friday. So pwede matalakay yan. And halimbawang kung hindi solid yung majority sa pag-elect ng presiding officer, doon papasok magiging factor yung minority bloc. Kasi sila yung magtutulak doon sa magsesettle ng impasse from among the members of the majority. Kung hindi kami magsasolid, which is I think unlikely because I will suggest, it's good that I'm reminded, isasuggest ko na mag-consensus na muna tayo sa majority bago tayo mag-caucus on Friday. Para solid na tayo kung sino yung ating presiding officer, kung si SP Sherwin, kung sino man, at least solid na tayo para hindi tayo mabiyak.
Ronald?
Si Ronald natahimik. Ronald, are you in
O
shock?
kayo nawala.
Mahirap, baka masalang na naman ako ni Senator eh.
Baka mabuking ka na naman.
Yun, ano yan
Okay.
Ami, Regina, half truth yun, half joke yung sinabi ko about Ronald.
Which part, sir?
Para ako lalo lumulubog sa kumuloy.
Alin part?
Yung siya yung nagpakanan nitong bago namin dinedevelop.
Okay, sige.
We know exactly what you mean. We know exactly what you mean.
Okay na. Oh,
Okay, ano ba to? Anything else?
That's it. Ready
Okay.
ready na po
Okay
kayo
na
for the
tayo,
start
baka
of
kung saan pa mapunta.
impeachment?
Baka
Handa na po kayo? For July 6.
Thank you.
Maraming salamat, sir.
All right. Thank
Salamat,
you.
Senator.
Senator Ping Lacson.
thank you, Senator.
We need to go on a very quick break. You are watching Storycon on One News. We'll be right back. Please stay with us.
This is the Story Conference Group or the Storycon Group.
We've got developing news in the stories behind the headlines. Welcome back to Storycon, the Story Conference. I'm Ed Lingao.
And I'm Regina Lay, still with us, Ami Pamintuan of the Philippine Star and political pundit Ronald Llamas,
Ano yun? Ba't may ganun?
Talagang ano.
who has a rainbow
Rainbow
behind his back.
connection.
Oh. Anyway, let's check in on our mobile journalist or Mojo Jazz Paredes, now monitoring the Iglesia ni Cristo rally along EDSA. Jazz, kamusta dyan? What can you tell us?
Regina, medyo maingay lang at the moment, pero ang nakikita natin ngayon is ongoing yung kanilang program. At kanina pagdating natin dito, simula tanghali hanggang as of this moment, 4 p.m., ay ongoing nga yung kanilang
5
mga
p.m.
ikinasagawang program. May stage tayo na nakaset up dito. And as of 6 p.m. kanina, ayon kaya Police Major Nino Lasino ng NCRPO, ay nasa 12,000 na nga yung kanilang crowd estimate. And possible pa raw na malagdagan ito sa mga susunod pa na oras dahil nakita natin kanina may mga dumadating pa ng mga buses. May nakita rin tayo mga bus na from Sir Sabiton na nagbibigay ng mga libreng soup. May na-receive din tayong info that there's a possibility nga daw na dumating ngayong araw din si Senator Rodante Marcoleta. Kanina dumating na rin si Senator Alan Peter Cayetano, Batangas First District, Leandro Delinte, at ilan pang mga personalidad yung nakita natin dumalo dito, including ex-congressman Mike Defensor na rin nakapanayam natin kanina.
Okay.
Jazz, gaano karami na yung estimate mo sa crowd?
Yes, Ronald. Sa ngayon, as of 2 p.m. ay 12,000 yung estimate ng crowd. Pero dahil nga 2 p.m. pa yon, kung kukumpara natin kaninang bago tayo maghapon, Ayan, medyo may space pa tong nakita natin na to. Medyo maluwag pa. Libot ko lang yung aking camera kung ano yung itsura ng sitwasyon natin dito. Ayan, so ito pa lang yung bungad nitong White Plains. Ito yung kahabaan ng EDSA southbound. Nakita natin na punong-puno ka ng mga miyembro ng INC and bungad pa lang ito. Kanina sinubukan natin makapasok doon sa part na may stage at mas maraming tao doon na talagang siksikan sa dami ng crowd at ang kahabaan na yan ay punong-puno talaga ng mga tao. Kumpara kanina, masasabi natin na mas marami na yung mga tao ngayon, kung from 6,000 to 7,000, 9,000, and estimate of last is 12,000, presumption natin ay mas marami na nga yung mga tao ngayon.
Jazz,
Pero
I
hindi
think,
sila
I think
hinaharangan
Jazz,
yung
you're
EDSA.
in northbound. You're not in southbound.
Wala pang humaharang sa EDSA.
Sorry, medyo
Wala
medyo
pong-
nasa
Pero
bayan
wala
lang.
pang humaharang sa EDSA.
As of now, wala naman ng, merong lanes na nakarangan. Itong kung nakita nyo itong mga tourist bus na ito, ay presumption natin na ilang lanes din yung nakarangan. And itong busway, may kita natin na may mga dumadaan na sasakyan. Although hindi naman sila nasa stop, tuloy-tuloy naman yung daan ng trapiko. Pero may kita natin na may mga parte nga ng kalsada ng EDSA na naharangan. And even ito, may bus nga na nakaharang kaya isang lane lang yung open. Although dun sa kabilang side, hindi natin masyadong kita. Pero kung makita natin ay ongoing din, may dumadaan din ng mga buses dun sa EDSA carousel. And meron ding mga nakadeploy, nakapulisan on the other side dahil nga umabot din dun sa kabilang side nga yung ibang mga miyembro ng INC.
Jazz, I was saying
Just
that
may mga
you're
nagsasalita dyan, ano? Ano yung mga iba pa nilang messaging? Kasi alam naman natin na gusto nila, nagrereklamo sila doon sa ginagawa daw kay Marcoleta. Ano pa yung iba? Buong araw ba yun lang ang sinasabi nila? May iba pa ba silang sinasabi?
Yes, Amy, sabi nga sa atin kanina, the continuous messages din ng mga nagdumating na personalidad. Although ang kanila daw talagang pinaka-ipinusta ay pagpahayag nga yung suporta nila kay Senador Rodante Marcoleta na hindi nga sila agree doon sa charges na sabi ng ombudsman na plunder dahil nga alam naman daw natin na nagsipa si Senador Rodante Marcoleta doon sa hearing, Blue Ribbon Committee, naging chairman siya. Isa pa sa kanilang ang ipinaglalaban nga daw ay hindi dapat nga baluktutin ang batas at hindi lamang itong parte ng magsuporta nila kay Senator Dante Marcoleta but in general yung kanilang panig na paglaban nga doon sa korupsyon. Sabi nga nila, ikulong daw dapat ang dapat makulong. May sabi pa sila kanina na kanilang pinagtataka daw na bakit daw si DPWH Secretary Manny Bonoan ay magiging state witness. Na kung alam naman daw natin na ay siya nga daw ang secretary ng departamento, doon daw nagsimula ang korupsyon. Kaya naman na isa rin ito sa kanilang mga ino-oppose dito sa kanilang rally. Kaya naman ang sigaw nila, they are one in demand for transparency and accountability. At isa ito sa kanilang mga naisang iparating sa kanilang protesta.
Okay. Jazz, I was saying kanina that you're currently at the People Power Monument sa kanto ng EDSA at White Plains. So you are in the northbound lane, not the southbound lane. I'm wondering lang kung may tao, kung may rallyista doon sa southbound. Kasi, siyempre, naharangan niya ng MRT eh. So I can't imagine any rallyist doon sa southbound eh. Nasa northbound lang ba sila o pati yung southbound eh nasakop na rin?
But dapat natin ang sa ngayon, hindi tayo nakatawid officially dahil nga yun nga nakahangarangan ito ng MRT at medyo makahirap makapunta dun sa kabilang side. Pero nakikita natin, meron din mga ilan na nasa other side, pero hindi kasing dami nung nandito ka sa northbound, sa may kanto ng People Power Monument. Ngunit meron din mga nakadeploy na kapulisan doon kung maaabot ng ating camera. Ay marami dito nakaabang. Siguro meron mga ilan-ilan no, pero hindi dami ng volume ng nandito dahil makita natin punong-puno nga ito ng mga tao. Actually, sinubukan din natin para sabay doon sa dami ng tao kanina and talagang sisigan. So, we presume na dahil nga sisigan na dito, meron na rin gala sa kabila na hindi natin tuwid papunta dito sa kabilang side dahil
Okay.
dalawa naman yung
Just,
views at
just do me a favor, itaas mo ng konti yung microphone mo sa bibig mo kasi nasasapawan ka ng ano eh. Yung kaninang ginawa mo, taas mo ng konti yung microphone mo sa bibig mo. Yan. Okay, okay. Just to be clear, so ang buong White Plains Avenue ay sarado na. Wala nang nakadaang kotse dyan sa White Plains Avenue. Both lanes going in and out. Yung northbound lane ng EDSA, ilang lane na lang natitirang pwedeng daan ng kotse maliban dun sa bus lane? May isang lane pa ba?
sorry po, medyo napuputol lang. Medyo mahina lang yung signal natin. Pihit lang tayo ng konti. Medyo nawawala lang yung signal natin.
Okay, okay lang. Sige, I'll repeat. So, yung White Plains Avenue, sarado na, di ba? Wala na nakakadaan na sasakyan nyo sa White Plains Avenue. Tama ba?
Yes, Box. Dito sa White Plains, both lanes, wala na rin nakakadaan dahil nga nakarangan na din ng crowd. And yung mga gamit ng mga sasakyan din, other from buses, meron din mga vans, mga sasakyan, doon na rin yung ginamit nilang parking space. And actually, meron ding malaking bus dito from Chavit, Singson, na may palibreng soup. So isa rin yun sa mga naiharang na rin dito sa lane ng Plainview. Kaya talagang wala na rin makakadaan
Okay, so
ng
huwag
mga
na umasang
sasakyan
dumaan
dito,
dyan sa
Box.
White Plains Avenue. Yung sa northbound ng EDSA, may natitira pang isang lane, tama ba? Maliban dun sa bus lane?
Sa ngayon, Bok, itong bus lane lang yung open na daanan. Meron na rin mga porta potties na nakaharang doon sa other lanes. Kaya isa lang talaga yung nadadaanan as of now, Bok.
Okay, sige. Okay, huling tanong lang sa akin. Kung makita mo kung sino mga senador dyan, pakitanong kung ano talaga ang posisyon nila as far as yung 18 na dating bagman are concerned. Kasi nung huling supposed Blue Ribbon Committee hearing nila dyan sa EDSA, walang sumipot na mga miyembro ng dating mayorya in support of the 18 bagmen. So, hindi malinaw sa amin ngayon kung ano na ang posisyon nila as far as the bagmen are concerned. I'm talking, of course, about the group of...
Natin makakuha ng medyo malinaw yung on the other line. Medyo
Okay.
nawawala yung ating
Break up ka,
connection.
It's okay.
Choppy ka.
Okay, sige.
Na, we'll let her go.
Sige. Jazz, sige. We'll let it go na lang. Maraming salamat sa iyo, Jazz Paredes, reporting live at the Iglesia ni Cristo Rally dyan sa White Plains.
Doon sa EDSA. With your signal.
May
Hello po.
there's feedback on my...
Bok, Amy,
Just.
Ronald,
Ano yung sinasabi doon? Yun na lang. Yun ang naririnig namin, yung malinaw. Yung nagsasalita sa
I don't know which...
Are we hearing Fatima Baduria already? Fatima?
Okay, let's bring in our global journalist Fatima Baduria. She is at... nasaan ka, Fatima? Liwasang Bonifacio. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yan.
Yan, okay na.
Reg, ngayon lang doon nagsimulang dumami yung mga tao dito sa Liwasang Bonifacio. Makikita nyo sa likod ko, no, may mga hawak silang placard. Pero kanina natanong ko, no, mga galing pa raw silang Batangas at hindi raw sila galing sa INC. No? So, mamaya lilinawin natin kung mga anong grupo ba ito. Hindi pa natin natutukoy dahil kararating lang talaga nila. At kanina lang din, ilang minuto makalipas, no, ay natanaw natin mula sa medyo malayo si Leandro Leviste na kararating lang. So inaasahan natin na maya-maya lang din ay magsisimula na itong kanilang programa dito, no, dahil simula kaninang umaga nagkaroon ng kilos protesta around 7 AM daw yon at natapos ng around 11 AM, no. At sa mga placard nga na nakasulat, no, ay talagang pinagtatanggol nila si Rodante Marcoleta at kine-question nila yung balak na pag-file ng plunder case laban sa kanya kaugnay ng undisclosed campaign fund. So nakalagay sa mga placards na private campaign donation daw ito at hindi plunder, at hilingaron nila ay transparency at accountability laban sa korupsyon. At may mga kapulisan din na naglilibot-libot dito kanina. Actually, kanina nakita natin yung pagdating ng mga personnel mula sa Philippine Coast Guard at natanong din natin kung meron bang permit itong isinasagawang kilos protesta at wala daw itong permit. Pero ayon sa mga pulis ay hindi naman daw ito kinakailangan dahil Freedom Park naman daw ito. Reg.
So yung, to be very clear, yung rally dyan sa Liwasing Bonifacio, hindi kailangan ng permit because it's a Freedom Park. You said na the numbers, may mga dumarami yung dumarating dyan sa Liwasing Bonifacio. May crowd estimates ba ang police?
Reg, sorry, medyo napuputol, no?
May crowd estimate daw ba ang police dyan sa Liwasang Bonifacio?
Sa ngayon, wala pa tayong nakukuha crowd estimate, no? Dahil nagdating lang din talaga yung mga minutes ago. Itong crowd na nasa likod ko. So ngayon, pero kaninang umaga, nung nagsagawa ng Pinos protesta dito, ay around 300 to 400 daw estimate ng mga nagsagawa ng Pinos protesta.
Yung kaninang maga ba, ano din, galing Batangas din? Mga Leviste crowd dyan eh. Galing din ba sila Batangas o ibang grupo na to ngayong hapon?
Ani yung kaninang umaga sa mga narinig natin ay mga INC daw, yung mga sumali doon sa rally. At actually kanina, bago magsidati itong crowd nito, ay mga INC din yung naghihintay na magsimula yung programa.
Okay. Sige.
Hindi ko masyadong marinig.
Nagbe-break up yung
Oo nga eh.
studio.
Okay,
Ed.
it's hard to...
Pakulan natin si Fatima.
Okay, we'll leave
Yeah.
that there. Thank you so much for your update. Hopefully, maya-maya we could get better signal. That was mobile journalist Fatima Baduria reporting from Liwasing Bonifacio
Thank you.
Thank you, Fatima.
in Manila.
Okay, I suppose it's time for us to just clear up some things kasi the big question for a lot of people is bakit plunder kung hindi naman public funds
Private
ang
daw.
involved?
Oo.
That's been a consistent question and that's a question that keeps coming up in all the interviews of our Mojos and other reporters. And even a question being raised by the spokesman of the Iglesia ni Cristo in the statement that they posted on social media. It might be,
But which we've discussed a number of times here, but sige,
but
basahin mo ulit
obviously it's not it's not being heard. It might be helpful to go back to Republic Act 7080, an act defining and penalizing the crime of plunder. Section 1, definition of terms. It includes ill-gotten wealth, and Section 1D2 says this: by receiving directly or indirectly any commission, gift, share, percentage, kickbacks, or any other form of pecuniary benefit from any person and or entity in connection with any government contract or project or by reason of the office or position of the public officer concerned. So sa definitions pa lang, it's already clear na
Kasama private.
pwedeng private, pwedeng public. And by that provision that we just read to you, that refers to the private aspect or the private funding.
And
By
Kasi kung mga
receiving-
kickback yan, private company
by
yan.
receiving any commission, actually kasama gift any commission, gift, share, percentage, kickbacks, or any other form of pecuniary benefit from any person or entity in connection with any contract or project or by reason of the office or position of the public officer concerned. Take note of the or in the end.
And again, this afternoon at his press conference, AO, Assistant Ombudsman Miko Clavano, explained that public officials are only allowed to receive donations of that magnitude during campaigns. The problem
Yes.
is Senator Marcoleta did not declare it on his SOSE nor his SALN. And also, according to AO Ombudsman, AO Clavano, the series of transactions satisfies the requirement in the plunder law that it has to be a series of transactions or acts. The money, the 75 million that we're talking about, was apparently given in batches of 25 million pesos. So sabi niya, that satisfies the
From three
requirement.
people.
That satisfies the requirement of the plunder law in that it's a series of transactions, and again, it wasn't declared for his campaign.
Well, it's not so much that it wasn't declared for the campaign.
Sa Salen.
It was more of it is technically not a campaign donation because it was made before
Yeah.
the start of the campaign period in February of 2025. It was given in January of 2025, so a month before the start of the
The
campaign
fact
period.
that he received it as a congressman.
Oo, so technically hindi siya
From these
campaign
private
donation.
people.
And campaign
Although,
donations are the
no,
only ones
but
that are
no,
allowed to be
we're gonna
received as
get
donations.
into technicalities again here. Of course, he's not a candidate at that time according to the law, but he was he himself admitted that it was to be used so that he could get into the Senate. It was for his campaign
Pero hindi
into
na
the
nila
Senate.
hinahabol yung election
O yun na nga,
angle.
kasi nga
But you can justify any donation by saying that I received that in order to use it for this purpose.
Of course,
That
of
does not
course.
make it that does not technically make it any more legal.
of course,
Because under the law,
Yeah.
the only donation you can receive if undeclared is campaign donations.
correct. And that's what Clavano was saying earlier. I guess that's why they're arguing na it can't be allowed even though it was being used for campaign because it wasn't declared to begin with. I also was curious why he had to mention na you're allowed to receive donations of that size kapag ka campaign periods. But I guess, they're being careful here.
It's also not helpful that in November 7 airing of Saganang Mamamayan, aired over, I think, Net 25, Marcoleta made that announcement that he received the money
Sorry.
and that he did not disclose it
But
because
did
it was
not report
requested by the donors that they not be disclosed. Pero ito pang dinagdag niya. Ang sabi nila sa akin, paano yung kako contribution ito? Sabi niya, binigay ko nga sa iyo contribution, utang na loob mo na lang sa kanya. Ituring mo na lang na utang, sabi niya. Basta utang na di babayaran, utang na loob eh. He repeated that mga two or three times na it is utang na loob na lang. So that opens up a whole new set of cans of worms.
The bottom line here is we're all used to the definition of plunder as stealing from public coffers, from public funds. And in a way, medyo sad, no? Parang meron ng automatic definition of plunder. When we say somebody is being charged for plunder, everybody understands it, but they understand it to mean na somebody who stole from the government. But there is another definition of plunder here, as Ed just read, under Section 1, D2, subsection D2 ng Plunder Law, RA 7080.
Kaya
One
pag
deal-
tumanggap ka sa mga contractor, there are private companies,
That's private,
pwede kang
oo.
kasuhan din.
In the same way na si ERAP, nakasuhan ng plunder at na convict ng plunder for, among other things, receiving kickbacks from wedding lords. That,
Private wedding
yeah,
lords.
if you recall, Ron, di ba, that was private money.
Gambling, gambling payola. Payola yan.
Yeah. So
Yes.
just to put
Plundered
that
din
on the
yun.
table for everybody to understand, because this is going to be a consistent question for a lot of people.
Bakit plunder?
Oo. It's a very very compelling question kasi parang
Hindi lang nga ako eh.
Pabalik-balik
Hindi lang paliwanag na ERAP noon eh. Hindi ako nagnakaw sa
Nagnakaw
kaban.
sa
Oo, kasi
kaban ng bayan.
private.
Hindi ako nagnakaw sa kaban ng bayan. Yun din yung paliwanag niya noon eh.
But there's another definition nga. Although, admittedly, even the Ombudsman himself admits that plunder is a notoriously difficult case to prosecute. Mataas ang threshold.
Although in the case of ERAP, he got convicted.
And then pardoned. Ay, sorry. Yeah.
Eh yun, hindi na kasalanan yun ng ombudsman. Nagre-reklamo nga ombudsman nun eh. Pinaghirapan daw nila ng husto, hindi man lang nakulong.
at nakatakbo ulit. At
Pero kaya
muntik manalo.
Nakatakbo pa.
Pero kaya hindi ganun kahirap itong case na ito dahil nanggaling mismo kay Marcoleta yung ebidensya.
Nagano siya eh. Siya yung may foot in mouth disease.
Yeah, that may be the other element here kung bakit ang bilis o maaaring mabilis yung takbo ng
Yeah.
ng investigasyon dahil it's
Siya nag-announce eh.
it's a self-declaration eh.
Oo.
So anyway,
But do they, I wonder if they'll need the official copy of that broadcast, no? Let us ask mobile journalist Merimon Reyes, who is standing by for us at the Senate right now. Merimon, what's going on there?
Good afternoon. So far ngayon dito sa Senate, ang pinakahuling nangyari ay yung pag-o-ocular ni Senate President Sherwin Gatchalian kasama si impeachment clerk of court, Secretary Ray Bantug, even si Office of the Sergeant at Arms, General Alfreda Soto Corpus. And so far, all systems go sila para sa pagsisimula ng impeachment trial this Monday. And ang schedule, Monday, July 6 hanggang July 27, Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, 2 p.m. onwards ang impeachment trial. Pero pag after July 27 at mag-start na yung next regular session ng Congress, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, 3 p.m. onwards ang magiging schedule ng impeachment trial. So far, na-aprubahan yung 92 days ng impeachment trial. And sa mga ito, may mga nakalaan na para sa prosecution, 62 trial days sa antabayanan natin. Ang sabi kasi ni Sec. Bantug, yung pre-trial order na inilabas na nila kahapon, wala pa raw nagpa-file ng comments from either the House Prosecution Panel or the defense team of VP Sara. Pero they have until Thursday para mag-file ng kanilang komento and then titignan kung may changes bang kakailanganin para maglabas ng updated na pre-trial order. Balik sa inyo.
Merimon, I was asking Senator Ping this earlier. Nabasa ko na rin yung pre-trial order and the person that signed it was Sherwin Gatchalian. And under his name, it says presiding officer. But turns out it's not been formalized yet. What do you know about this?
Not yet. Pero so far, ang sabi kasi ni SP Gatchalian, so far daw sa pagkakaalam niya, siya ang magsisilbing presiding officer. And though kanina hindi yon directly na bring up, pero sa lumabas na pre-trial order ang naglagda doon si SP. Ang sabi naman ni Secretary Bantug, sa reconvening ng Senado as an impeachment court ngayong Monday, July 6, ang magpe-preside daw niyan si SP Gatchalian. Pero if in case meron nang napag-usapan talaga na ipapwesto as presiding officer, ang lumulutang kasing pangalan si Senator Chis Escudero, meron pa sinasabing impeachment manager, lumulutang din pangalan ni Senator Kiko Pangilinan. Lahat daw yan mapo-formalize sa araw din na yon. Pero for now, wala rin pang confirmation so far. So nothing is set yet on stone.
Okay,
So,
it
kailangan
seems
ng
na.
election for the presiding officer? Kahit formality
Ang
lang?
sabi kasi ng majority bloc, pag-uusapan daw nila ito. Pero so far, since nakapag-take naman daw sila ng oath as senator judges, yung pagdating na lang daw sa presiding officer yung kailangan daw nilang pag-usapan or tignan. Pero that's a matter kasi na kailangan daw pag-usapan ng Senate as an impeachment court, hindi raw as a legislative body. Kaya yun ang aantabayanan natin sa Monday kung sakaling meron silang ipapwesto aside from SP Gatchalian. Ang sabi kasi ni Senator Lisa, kung iba raw ang magpe-preside, so far parang si Senator Gatchalian, magiging senator judge lang. So yung sinasabi nilang impeachment manager, pwedeng may iba pa silang ipwesto doon and again ang lumulutang doon pangalan naman din ni Senator Kiko Pangilinan or other senators na mapag-uusapan.
Okay. Okay. We'll leave that there for now. Thank you so much for your reporting, Merimon Reyes, live at the Senate.
Thank you, Mary Mon.
Thank you,
Before
Merimon.
we go, pakita lang natin yung schedule for the impeachment trial kicking off on Monday. As Merimon said, July 6, 2 to 3 p.m.
Sawa.
2 p.m.
2
ang
to 3
start.
ang eksena na.
Sorry. 2 p.m. ang start until July 27. Wait, let me just look up the dates.
6. August
So-
3 p.m.
Oo, from tama ba to? Is it from August?
August 3.
August.
Iniba nila sa August.
From August 3 p.m. onwards. There were 57 witnesses that were named by the prosecution, and at least in the pre-trial order for the defense side, they named 45. Well, they listed down 45, although not all of them are names of people. For example, merong item number 43, notaries public. Item 44, signatories and or witnesses. Common witnesses, there are at least 17 common witnesses between the prosecution and the defense. Article 4, which is grave threats and inciting to sedition against the government, will be the first to be tackled. That will cover 11 trial dates. Article 1, misuse and misappropriation of confidential funds, will take up 31 trial dates. Article 3, bribery and corruption within the DepEd, will take up 8 trial dates. And Article 2, unexplained wealth, false ends, and continued business interests, will take up at least 12 trial dates. So tama nga si Congressman Joel Chua, the first article will be the assassination plot and grave threats to the president. Language during the trial will be Filipino and English. And again, parties are directed to review the pretrial order and can submit comments within 3 calendar days from receipt of this pretrial order. And sabi nga ni Senator Ping, the senators will hold an all-senators caucus. Was it on Friday? I think he said Friday.
Friday.
During which he's hoping to tackle the issue of who will be the presiding officer of this impeachment trial. For now, nakapirma dun sa pre-trial order is SP Sherwin Gatchalian, but again, that's not final yet. There you have it, the defense witnesses.
Si Mary Grace Piatos lang yung hindi natin kilala ron, ano?
Hindi, marami naman mga
Hindi,
hindi natin
mukhang tunay
kilala.
ng mga tao tong iba. Tinitingnan ko yung mga pangalan eh.
But don't forget, meron...
Maraming walang pangalan, maraming fill in the blanks eh.
Katulad nga
mga
ng notary
pero may
public.
mga posisyon
Parang
eh.
placeholder yung iba
May
eh.
mga posisyon
In the same
eh.
way na I suppose si Mary Grace Piatos is a placeholder sorts.
Ah.
Kung sino man ang i-identify nilang tumanggap in behalf of Mary Grace Piatos, yun ang gusto nang ipakita.
Yeah. Yan, no? May mga designation yung iba eh. Saka yung iba, alam naman natin, si Ramel Madriaga, kilala natin yan. Yan, Maribik Pareha. Yun lang yung hindi natin kilala kung sino siya.
Yeah, but there are a lot of placeholder names.
Yeah.
It will be
Yung iba, yung office yung agency eh.
Meron din, may
So-
mga journalists din who are on the prosecution's witness list, which is interesting. Mary Grace Piatos is item 25, witness
Yes.
number 25 in the prosecution's witness list. But we shall see if
Yan.
mababago pa ito. Ayan, prosecution witness list.
O yan, kilala natin yung mga yan. Si Sulaika, kilala natin yan.
Melchor Carandang,
Ayan.
former
Kilala natin yung mga
ombudsman.
Si Mary Grace lang hindi natin kilala.
Okay. Let's call it a day because baka bukas mas mahaba ang araw natin. Tingnan natin.
Oo nga.
Every day. But we'll leave that there. Thank you so much for joining StoryCon today. Ami Comintuan, Editor-in-Chief of the Philippine Star, and Ronald Llamas, our resident political pundit, who has a bright, happy rainbow behind
Before
him.
I forget, Ronald, you know pala what that background reminds us of? Yung Teletubbies.
Leprechaun?
Ano?
Teletubbies.
Teletubby.
Yung may nabutan niya.
Tingnan mo, Google mo, Teletubbies with the rainbow
Hindi raw
background.
niya
Lalabas yan.
nabutan.
Hindi ako nabutan. Hello.
Hindi na siya bata noon. Yun na ibig sabihin na hindi inabutan.
Okay.
Kasi nung bata si Ronald, wala pang TV.
Ah.
Ouch. Join us again
lang.
tomorrow, 4 p.m. for StoryCon. I'm Regina Lay.
I'm Ed Linggo, kapalit. We are One News, your side all the time.
This is the Story Conference Group or the StoryCon Group.